Welcome back. This Wednesday, during National Nurses Week, the focus will be on school nurses. That's because Wednesday is National School Nurse Day. Joining us to talk about all the responsibilities school nurses have caring for our kids' physical and mental health is Paula Freyerharm. She's the incoming president of the Association of School Nurses of Connecticut. She's also a school nurse and nurse coordinator for the Tolland Public School System. Paula, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you told me you've been working in a school setting for 8 years. I think a lot of people, particularly older people who have been out of school for a long time, think, oh, you know, somebody got a tummy ache and had to go see the school nurse. How do you describe what the job of a school nurse is in 2023?
Well, I don't have enough time to go over everything, but yes, you're absolutely right. A lot of people just have this idea that stomach ache and a little bit of Band-Aids and ice packs. That's really not what the history of school nursing has been, but it's even more challenging these days. In 2023, we look at the level of acuity for our students coming in. We've had many, many medical advances over the years where students who used to maybe not even make it to school age are now coming to school. School nurses all across the country, we are faced with helping diabetic students manage their day and be at school. We have students every day who attend school who have cancer diagnoses and are undergoing treatment. We have G-tube feeds that we school nurses do. School nurses might also do catheters for students so they're at school. High level of acuity in addition to tummy aches and bumps and bruises, playground injuries, fractures, concussions. There is a lot that goes on in just the day-to-day school nursing on top of the demands that we have to meet mandated screenings. A lot of parents and public are not aware that school nurses have a lot of screenings that we do that are mandated throughout the years of our students. So
you just ticked off probably like 6 different, maybe eight different professions of nursing, all kind of wrapped into one, or focuses of nursing. What is it that you like about being a school nurse?
Well, I love being a school nurse. I love being a nurse, but I really do love being a school nurse. It is a subspecialty that is not always understood, even within the nursing profession itself. And it's simply what you said. I have to be knowledgeable of all types of areas of health, mental health and physical health. And I'm constantly learning, constantly being able to pass that education on. There's never a dull moment in a school nurse's life.
Well, you know, we had some teachers on in our last segment for Teacher Appreciation Week, and one thing that I kept coming back to as I was researching to talk to you, health of the students equals their success. That if you can keep them healthy mentally and physically, they're going to be better in the classroom. And do you see that with your population of students in Tolland?
Oh, absolutely. And I love collaborating with, we have great teachers in Tolland. I know there's great teachers all over the state of Connecticut. And that collaboration of us being able to work with great teachers and keeping healthy kids in school is fantastic.
One of the, like you mentioned, unless your child has an acute need, probably the way you hear about it is they didn't feel well and went down to the nurse, or they did bump their head or scrape their knee on the playground. What do you want those parents who don't have a lot of interaction with school nurses to know about the resource that's there?
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. I think one thing parents can do is just introduce themselves to the school nurse in their community, either just through the web pages online or actually if they're in the building. But realize that even if you have a student that doesn't have chronic needs and has not had any acute injuries at school, the school nurse is still responsible for your child because it is community health. And so we are managing immunizations. We do have to follow up with mandated physicals. Sometimes we have to give screenings for vision, hearing, scoliosis. So we are going to be interacting with every single student in the district.
Well, and picking right up on that, I just looked, and there's something like 4.2 million RNs in the United States, and only about 70,000 school nurses or so. So it's a tiny specialty, but boy, you touch everybody. I mean, everybody who goes to a public school, a private school, they've interacted with that school nurse, whether it's the screenings or they didn't feel well or something bigger.
Absolutely. And sometimes, again, even if you don't think your student has had any interaction with the school nurse has had interaction with your child, you know, just simply by them being in a school district.
So obviously part of why we have Nurses Week and Teachers Appreciation Week and School Nurses Day is to say thank you. But what do you want? What can people do to make your job easier, whether it's the parents or legislators or the administrators? Is there a message as we recognize school nurses on something that can be done to make your life easier?
Oh, that is a really great thought to put out there to the community. I think the really important thing is just to realize that the subspecialty of school nursing, we are working within an academic setting, but we are very much real nurses with lots of knowledge about mental and medical health, and we are there as a resource and want to work in partnership with the community, with the parents. So anything that we might call home for or request as a requirement, it's not extraneous. We're either legislated to do that, or it is important for your student to be healthy and be in school.
I just want to ask you one more question. We only have a few seconds left, but we've heard so much, certainly post-COVID, about the mental health of students. You're on the front lines of that. I mean,
every day.
How is that going as far as evaluating it, treating it, and making everyone feel better?
So I think it is a challenge that we are going to be faced with for quite some time. It is very evident, being in the school system, that COVID had a significant impact on our students. And I think one of the best things that we can do as a community, both locally and globally, is to start talking about positives, things that we could have learned from COVID, and just the positives of where we are now. And to maybe start spinning things in a different light to help address the real anxiety. And the other thing I don't think a lot of parents and the community realize is children pick up on everything. They hear everything, and they pay attention to everything.
Well, hopefully they're paying attention today, and they remember on School Nurses Day to thank the school nurse in their school.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate you being here. Paula Freyerharm, thank you for being with us, and thank you to all the school nurses in Connecticut as we head into this important week.
Oh, I agree. Thank you so much.
And that is CT23 for this week. CBS Sunday Morning is coming up next. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll, of course, meet you back here in Studio A next Sunday morning.